Hello everyone, and welcome to the second devlog for Luminera, the Radiant Journey. My name is Eric, and I will be your talk show host for the day. So, last time we did this devlog, I talked about what expectations I had for the game, and just a little bit about myself, a little bit about the project, how I feel about RPGs, and other random tangents throughout the day. This time around, I wanted to actually show a little bit of the game itself. So, let's start out. Is this recording? It is recording. Great. Let's start out by showing the battle system. So, let's go into game. Let me see how this looks on the recorder. Looks fine. So, what I'm playing right now is what you see on the demo of the project. I just want to get into a battle so I can kind of talk about the battle system a little bit. So, ignore all of this. Let's go to the first possible battle. There we go. Look at that. We got a random battle. Now, mainly because I actually forgot to include the ability to escape from a battle in the midst of one, I ended up doing this instead. So most battles in this game will be evented in some fashion. Whether it's if you started a fight with somebody, or you just entered a zone that was going to have a battle and you got into one. But random battles work a little differently than regular RPGs. So when you get into one, you'll have these three options. Attack, which means you'll just go straight into the fight. Avoid combat, you'll skip the battle and you use 1 AP, which, AP you'll be using for different tasks on the map, or mining, drawing resources and stuff like that. So you don't want to use up all your AP, and the only way you get your AP back is by resting at a campsite. Which, in the final version of the game, camping will be limited. Right now, if you play the demo, camping is infinite. Because there's no time system yet. Or you can use an item called a stink bomb, which will make the enemies run away from you. And you can buy those, or, just find them around the world. So, let's get into the first fight. So you see here, one of the characters has a battle passive that increases everyone's agility by 2. Now, what are we looking at here? First of all, you'll have 4 different options for battle. Action, which, you'll use your default attack or any kind of special ability that you want to use. Defend, which will increase your fortitude and spirit by 5 and recover a little bit of your willpower. So if you're running low on willpower or a big attack is coming in, that's when you want to defend. It'll also lower damage by 4. And I'll get into that a little bit later about, how actually mitigating damage works. Item, self-explanatory. You use an item. And this doesn't actually work yet, but interventions will be special abilities. How best can I describe these? Similar to the Paper Mario series. Anytime you'd finish a chapter, you would get a special power involved with a star. And you'd have a special gauge to use those attacks, or healing spells or whatever. And this will be very similar. They won't use up a turn. So if you have a bunch of interventions, you can use them all in one turn. But you can only use them once every while. Like once a day or once every like 6 battles or something like that. They'll be very special abilities. You're only going to want to use them sparingly. And I might put some limitations on that because I just thought of that, and there's going to be 8 different interventions, and you don't want to have you don't want to go into a boss battle and use up all 8 of your interventions in one go. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. So here, if you mouse over your status effects, you'll see a list of everything that you have. So if you use an ability that increases attack, you can see that here. I still don't know how I'm going to do this for controller, but I'll figure that out later. Down here at the bottom, I'm sorry about this, you'll see AP1. What this means is the amount of turns that this character will have per round. So Aster doesn't have that much agility. He has 1 attack per turn. You can increase this by increasing his agility in a certain fashion. So Genevieve, the Whisper Wind, actually uses a lot of abilities that increase agility for her teammates. So we can do that in a little bit. Let's do a regular attack. Let's use Burning Rush. Use it on Blazing Lobos. So what did he do right there? There's a bunch of things that happened all at once. If you notice, when he attacked, it rolled a d20 dice. So what the d20 does is it measures the amount of how do I describe this? Sorry, I'm tripping all over myself. Let's go into Elias so I can kind of show you. You'll see on these attacks, agility versus fortitude. So this will be Elias's agility points versus an enemy's fortitude points, and the rolling of the d20 dice. If an enemy has, let's say Elias has 5 agility, and he rolls 5 on the d20, so he has a total result of 10. The enemy has 12 fortitude. So what that means is that the attack has been cancelled, because their fortitude is better than the total amount of your agility. Now let's say Elias rolls a 10. 10 plus his 5 agility equals 15 against the Lobos' 12 fortitude. So he'll land the attack. There'll be a sort of triangle system with the enemies. Some of them will have higher agility and lower fortitude and spirit, and you'll kind of just learn which enemies have what as you progress through the game. Some enemies, like let's say the Lobos, don't have high fortitude, they don't have high spirit, so they don't have high defense or magic defense, but they do have a lot of agility. So any attack that activates against an enemy's agility might be harder to land if you don't get a good roll on a d20. You can mitigate this by having a lot on your main stat. So, if for whatever reason Elias has 20 agility, he'll have a much higher chance of hitting regardless of what you roll. But adding stat points will be fairly limited as well. You'll have 2 points per level to add into whatever you want. So you are really going to want to have to decide what you want to focus on. So now, how many attacks does Elias have? I forgot. He has 1. Okay. His agility is a little bit higher, but not high enough to get to that AP2. What was the equation? It's your agility divided by 4, if I remember right. So if you have 8 agility, you'll actually get 2 attacks, and it rounds down. So yeah, okay. Let's go. Let's use Frostbolts on this enemy. So rolls an 11. I believe he has 5 agility, so that's 16. And that enemy is dead. What you also saw here is when... Oh, this one. Yeah, she has 3 AP. So she doesn't do a lot of damage, but she's fast. And she gets a lot of attacks off per turn. I need to change these. I completely forgot to do that. So, thank you for reminding me, Devlog. After the attack lands is when you roll for damage. So, agility versus agility. So, it's Kira's agility versus another enemy's agility. And let's say that lands. Then we move on to the next phase. She rolls 1d6, which is 6-sided dice. Essentially the regular dice that most of us are used to. Plus the amount of cunning that she has. So, let's see if this lands. Actually, let's up her chances. Kira's abilities mainly focus on her disappearing and coming out and using attacks. So let's use her into the shadows attack. There we go. She's gone. So this increases her chances of landing an attack on an enemy. So now let's stab them. She rolled. Ooh, that was a good roll. There you go, she got that, and she gets extra damage being invisible. Unfortunately, yeah, this comes out really quickly. The 6-sided dice came out. I didn't see what the result was. Probably should have paid more attention to that. There we go. She rolled a 6. Ooh, perfect. She got a kill off. Okay. So you kind of see what I mean here. Alright, we got some pure leaf and Devlog. This is for crafting. This is a healing item. The amount of money you got. Okay. Let's go into status on, let's do Esther. So here we see his statistics. His health, his amount of willpower or MP, which is what we're mostly used to. 3 strength, 3 fortitude, 7 intellect, 3 spirit, 3 agility, 1 cunning. So what we can glean off of this is that Esther's highest points are in intellect. He has a lot of magic damage. And any attack that uses intellect as its focal point will usually actually be successful. But his attacks use different skills depending on this. What happened? Did this freeze on me? What's going on? Okay, that's weird. Well, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. So essentially, that's what a battle will look like. I don't know why it froze. It might just be because I'm recording. Now, let's take a look at what it entails for that battle system to work. If for anyone who is into RPG Maker, this might scare you. Almost all of this, so there's a couple here, there's like 3 here that aren't, but all of this is for the battle system. All of this too, not the camping menu, all of this going up outside of like 2 or 3. And then some of these too are for the battle system. I didn't want to use a plugin because I felt like I had more control doing common events. This took me months to make. But due to this, I feel like I have a lot more control over what can happen in the middle of a battle. And I don't know who's watching this, but if anyone ever wants me to go more in depth of what I did here, please let me know. This battle system is done pretty much all evented. There's a couple of plugins that I'm using, but they're very minimal. One of them is just to show a battle status window out in the map from Yanfly, I believe. And another one is just to show animations on pictures. But other than that, this is pretty much all done with common events. Which, you know, I feel is fairly impressive. But, you know, I don't know how people feel about that. Okay. How long has this video been going on for? 15 minutes? Okay. We can talk a little bit more. So this game uses a D20 system. It's not only going to do that for battle, it's also going to do that out in the world. The D20 is very important to the game. It defines and decides a lot of the decisions that are going to come in this game. And will change drastically aspects of the game depending on what you roll. You'll have the opportunity to manipulate some of those rolls, either with statistics or whatever character you pick or something like that. But my goal, as I've said on the first devlog, is to create a very different RPG than what most people are used to. And maybe what you've seen right now doesn't seem like it's that different, and, you know, maybe it's not. You saw the Phantasy Star inspired battle outlook. But hopefully you guys enjoy this, because I'm having a lot of fun making this. So, anyway, I think that's it for today's devlog. It sounds odd for me to say this, but if you enjoy this, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me if you're interested. I'm going to be doing these once a week, so let me know if there's anything you'd like me to show you. I've been doing RPG Maker a long time. I would, you know, if you want me to do some tutorials on how to do certain things, not that I'm an expert on anything, but, you know, I've been around for a while, let me know. Thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.